InsideThunder.com. Powered by iHeartMedia, Oklahoma City.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner at Chesapeake Energy Arena, and for the Oklahoma City Thunder, there will be another night, one that means something. They will play on Wednesday up in Minnesota for a chance to go to the playoffs, but they need some help after beating the Portland Trail Blazers 101-90 on Monday night at Chesapeake Energy Arena. The New Orleans Pelicans dispatched the Minnesota Timberwolves in New Orleans. So now it comes down to Wednesday's games. The Thunder in Minnesota to play the Timberwolves, the Pelicans at home hosting the San Antonio Spurs. A win by the Thunder and a loss by the Pelicans. The Thunder move on into the playoffs. If it's the other way around, or if both teams win, or if both teams lose, the Pelicans will be headed to the playoffs. The Thunder got another big night from Russell Westbrook. He scored 36 points, grabbed 11 rebounds, dished out 7 assists, and Enes Kanter also with a big night, 27 points, 13 rebounds. His pick and roll game along with Russ was really working well, and was also an important night at the free throw line also for the Thunder. You remember on Sunday night up in Indianapolis, the Thunder could not hit any free throws, cost them the game. They missed 17. This time, they also didn't shoot particularly well from the free throw line, but they limited the trips to the free throw line by the Trailblazers. They only went 9 times and only hit 6. So the Thunder end up winning 101-90 after the game. Head coach Scott Brooks and Russell Westbrook talked to reporters.
Thought it was a good win for us. Set the tone how we wanted to play in that first quarter, both ends of the floor. Did a good job of taking care of the basketball. We did a good job of crashing the boards and keeping them off the glass. But overall, just a good win, solid win. Just focus on the next game.
Coach, got into the fourth quarter. They made a little run, cut it to, I think, 6 or something like that. Just what were you telling your team to be able to push them out into some of those final timeouts?
Well, just keep playing possession by possession. We had a pretty solid game, defensive game going on throughout the game. Other than that third quarter, we had about a 7-minute stretch where we were just exchanging baskets. Just keep playing the possessions. You know, can't give up any open shots. We contested, we rebounded well tonight. But I thought we closed the game out good.
Coach Jeremy Griffin, InsideThunder.com. What was working so good against Lillard tonight?
We were setting great screens on him. We were setting great screens on him, and then we did a good job of containing him off all of his pick-and-roll actions. But it was just a matter of those two things. Offensively, we were doing a good job of being patient with our screen setting and then putting some bodies on him. And then defensively, we did a good job of bottling up all of his pick-and-rolls, and that's hard to do. But we did a pretty good job in that in the first half. I don't know if he played much in the second half.
Scott, fair to say that Russ backs up a 54-point night with even a better performance?
He was good. He was solid all the way around. Rebounding, 7 assists, 11 rebounds, a couple of steals, a couple too many turnovers, but he was good throughout the game. He was good defensively. Took the challenge of guarding Lillard, and you know he's a tough guard. Lillard is a very, very talented offensive guard. He can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
Nick Gallo, Thunder.nba.com. You really dominated in the paint tonight. 22 of those points in the paint came in the third quarter, and you're posting up Enes, posting up Ruts a lot. Why were those two guys able to have so much success on the block? Well,
I thought Enes did a good job of fighting for position, and he was real patient. If they're going to play him one-on-one, we felt that was a better matchup for us, and he made buckets down there. That's what he's been doing for a while. Some nights it's not going to have the matchup as we want, and then he's also a pick and pop or pick and roll, not just a post-up player, but he has an all-around offensive game.
Yes,
Scott.
Go ahead. Sorry, Jane.
Oh, sorry. We know the scenario that'll now have to play out Wednesday night. You guys have to win. Pelicans have to lose. You've been in a
freshman. I don't really know the scenario. I haven't heard that before.
Well, they did have to win tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they did. So if you've been in a situation like that before, what will that be like for your guys, simultaneous games going on where you need, obviously, not only your result but theirs?
We just have to focus on winning the game. It's a one-game season for us. We have to go up to Minnesota and beat them. We're going to have to play for 48 minutes. We can't worry about what's happening in New Orleans. We have to just focus on what we do. They have a tough matchup. We have a tough matchup. Every team in this league, if you don't take them serious, they can beat you. And we're just going to focus on playing good basketball and take care of our business. And hopefully we get some help down south of us.
Scott, John over the Tulsa World. To kind of follow up on that question, how do you approach, it's been out of your control now for, a week or so, but it's like every game is a playoff. You guys are embroiled in a playoff right now, basically.
Yeah, we've had that for a while. It's the month of April. We've had a lot of tough teams coming into our building or going into their building, and we just had to, play every game. It's, we've had some challenges throughout this season. We've done a pretty good job. We put ourselves in a position to have a chance to be in the playoffs. I give our guys a lot of credit. They battled all year long. They never used not one circumstance as an excuse. They just kept charging ahead and figuring out ways to put us in a position to win. We're going to need some help from San Antonio. I've always been a Pop fan. I'm going to be even more of a Pop fan.
Can you go to that Russell Westbrook post up more, even Wednesday and into a playoff series potentially with the Warriors?
Well, it depends who guards them. A lot of times, since KD has been out, a lot of bigger guys are guarding them. It's not a good matchup. That's when we set the low pick and rolls and we get action off of that. But when KD's on the floor, the bigger guys are going to be guarding KD. But Russell's been adjusting to that, and I think he's done a good job. And we've done some things differently offensively.
Is it kind of similar with Ennis? You talked about it a little bit before the game and earlier. Did he just have a good matchup tonight? Well,
Ennis has been playing well since the trade. He's done a lot of good things for us. But I thought tonight his matchup was very good. He was crashing the offensive board, getting some putbacks. But his post-up game, his moves, he was very patient and waiting for all the players to finish their cuts, and then he had a one-on-one coverage and he took advantage of it.
Coach Andrew Gilman, Fox Southwest. Everyone knows the scenario. Obviously, you just went over it again. But do you do more coaching in this situation? Do you have a speech for him? Or you just try to get out of the way?
No, it's a game. We have to coach the game, to play the game.
Russ, the physicality on both ends of the floor seemed to be there from the very start. How did that first few minutes of the game impact the way this one turned out?
It was huge. I don't think they ever led throughout the whole game. They did a great job of just keeping our foot on the gas pedal and came on to win.
In that third quarter, you and Ennis went to the block quite a bit. You outscored them 22-10 in the paint. What did you guys see in that matchup just to be able to post up?
Just using our strength. We gotta find the matchups that best suits us, and those are the matchups.
How much of the two-man game is just a read and react?
It's all it is. I think the game of basketball is kind of read and react. You kind of just play off instincts.
Russ, the season comes down to one game now, actually two games, New Orleans and San Antonio, and your game on Wednesday. How do you guys approach that, knowing that it's out of your control?
We only can play one game. We just go out and play our game, and that's it.
81 games through the season, and finally now it comes down to this one game. Just talk about just the journey to getting here and now at least having this chance with all that you guys have been through.
It's definitely a blessing, obviously with injuries and different things of that nature. But now we're here and just got to take advantage of it.
How important was Morrow's shot there? They made a run at you guys, got it down to 6. He came right back and hit a big 3 for you guys.
It was huge. Great play call out of timeout. He knocked down a big shot.
Is it hard for some of your caliber to know that your season relies on getting a little help from San Antonio?
Definitely difficult. We put ourselves in this position, but at the same time, we just got to go out and take care of our business and see what happens.
Russ, you've done particularly well against Lillard and Portland. Any reason for that success in that matchup?
No, just come out and compete every night, like I do every single night.
Would you call yourself a Spurs fan? Maybe Wednesday night or? No? You got to root for the Spurs, don't you?
I ain't got to root for nobody. I ain't no Spurs fan. What type of question is that?
Who else?
See my hat?
What's the story behind that hat? the stuff on the scrambled eggs on the phone. I just wonder, is it good? I think I'm just asking.
All right, man. I'll see y'all, man. Cool.
Russell Westbrook and Coach Scott Brooks. The Thunder will not practice on Tuesday. They'll meet at the airplane and fly off to Minneapolis for a huge game against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday night. And the outcome of that game, coupled with what happens in New Orleans with the Pelicans and the Spurs, will mean the Thunder will fly home from Minneapolis either to then go home for the rest of the season, or they'll fly home, practice for a couple of days, and then get in the plane to fly to Oakland for a first-round playoff matchup with the Golden State Warriors. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated at InsideThunder.com.